Welcome to Popcorned Planet. I am Andy Signore, and we are live with some breaking news I was hoping to have a little bit more information for you guys. I was hoping to get the legal filing in hands, but sadly, we don't yet have it. But that's news in itself. We're going to talk about that and what all this means. So much show. If you're watching live, thank you guys. We had a Shang-Chi special plan, but I'm going to delay that either later in the show or Thursday. But with this breaking Britney Spears news, I wanted to be ready to react to you guys because I know a lot of you have been texting me and my guest tonight, Christopher Melcher. What's up, Christopher?
Hey, Andy. Thanks for having me on. This is just amazing development. So happy to be talking about it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I see both of us are just getting tagged. Every time something like this happens, they're like, is this real? What's going on? What are the facts here? And so I feel obligated to let's get to this. Let's get to the facts of the story. So those of you who are not sure what's going on, a lot of media outlets are reporting that Britney Spears conservatorship is ending. Jamie Spears is filing to finally end her conservatorship. However, it's very important. We warn you all. He filed this to the press, not to the judges. Christopher, that's not typically what one does, correct? This is an odd thing for Jamie to do, to file this so-called petition, which we still don't even have, to NBC, CNN, etc.
Well, it's actually typical for Jamie to do because he's been leaking stuff to the press about Britney for a long time, negative things. And we've seen that he's been using TMZ previously. Now he uses NBC to give a document to the press before it's even given to Britney's lawyer. And so that is just unbelievable that somebody would do that. The judge should be furious about that. It's totally inappropriate. And if we just stop right there and analyze it, why would somebody give a document to the press before giving it to their opponent? This is essentially a press release. It's only done to improve his image, to push his message out there. So everyone runs with the headline, conservatorship over, just like we ran with the media ran with the headline a couple weeks ago, Jamie resigns. And then there's a delay and we get the document and we say, oh, that didn't happen, but the headline still occurred.
Yeah, it's getting frustrating. And I'll be honest, I fell for it the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, and it was even TMZ. I was so stupid. I very quickly adjusted for all you guys. We went live. I made sure the news was there. But this has now become the Jamie playbook where he wants to, and it's interesting because the first time he put a press release out, it was Jamie Spears is stepping down for his daughter. He loves his daughter. He's helping. And so a lot of press, and I think a lot of people out there, Christopher, assume, oh, well, she's already out, right? And now he didn't just do the same headline. He is very savvy with the media. Right now, he's put an even more drastic of, I'm finally going to end the conservatorship. Like he's putting out these really massive headlines that are tricking a lot of media outlets and a lot of just Britney fans who maybe aren't as invested in the story to really, it almost seems like, end the debate. So the media almost gets oversaturated with these headlines before it actually happens, so he can continue to do his dirty work behind the scenes or get away with, or get the payments he wants, etc., to really get things before anything actually happens. Have you noticed that? I mean, it's funny, right? Because the headline today isn't Jamie stepping down; it's we're ending the conservatorship. Why do you think he's doing that?
Well, it works. There's a tremendous thirst for these stories. And so I started getting calls from reporters, major outlets this afternoon before any of this broke saying, we've heard this has been filed. And so this came out much, much earlier this afternoon that I was hearing about this. And then once NBC broke it, everyone wants to jump on it. They want the clicks. They want the views for their media outlet, so they're running at it. I've already given interviews for Good Morning Britain and Sky News. I wanted to sneak those in before so I wouldn't miss your show here. But we got those squared away and basically said, look, there's no story here until you see the document. And so they were very clear to say also, we're not falling for this again, because we saw other outlets get tricked by it. And so this is his playbook. It worked before. The only tune-up that he did on it was that he didn't leak it to TMZ because we're now alert to that fact. So he goes to NBC, and now everyone's like, hey, NBC says it. And so again, devil's in the details. We haven't seen those yet, but I would bet I know what's in that document. I know what the conditions are going to be, and they're going to be exactly the same as in the old document. They probably cut and paste. Hey, happy for this to end. As long as I'm paid, as long as I'm made whole of all liability, it's all about him.
After all the good work I've done for my daughter, it's going to be a lot of that language.
That's exactly where it's going. But this is good news, though, because he is now saying, hey, I'm behind the idea of ending the conservatorship. Before, he was just saying, I'm behind the idea of just stepping aside. So, hey, we all want the conservatorship to end. And so if he's supporting that, awesome. The only thing is he's not going to be relieved of responsibility on his way out the door.
All right, I have a lot of questions because even though we don't, guys, just to recap again, I know a lot of people are tuning in late. We do not have the legal documents yet. We do not have the filing. And what's really frustrating, and if you have a question specifically for Christopher, who could ask, a lawyer here who can actually help you understand more of this, so grateful he's here. Go check out his YouTube channel. We'll be plugging a lot. Mods, please be sharing his YouTube link there as well, because I know Christopher's trying to build his own platform there as well. But we don't have the documents yet, and so we can't really report anything and confirm anything until we know what his conditions are yet again, because it doesn't make any sense why he would be filing this. Now, I have questions about what this means and why this is good, etc. But Christopher, let's start here. And guys, send over your chats. I'll be taking a break to answer your questions as we can. But like an outlet like NBC, all right? Like, and who is this reporter? These two reporters who get this story. Do you suspect, again, we're speculating here, do you suspect they're getting the whole filing? Or is Jamie giving them a best of what he wants? Because like as a NBC journalist, wouldn't they have some of their own credit on the line here? It's like where they would want to also report on the buts, in this article, because they're I'm mad at them because they got access to this document early. They put this headline out there, which everyone jumps on, and they're not even giving us all the full details of what this actually means. What is your reaction to that? To NBC, for example, doing it?
So we see different variations of that. An outlet like NBC is going to want to lay eyes on the document. Other outlets are going to take the leaked call and maybe run with the story without verification. But NBC is going to want to lay eyes. Now, there may have been conditions, though, placed on it to say, hey, we'll give you the document, but don't post it. Or we'll give you the document, but just show these parts of it. And so conditions may have been attached to it by the leaker because this is not a filed document. And we can identify that very easily, just like we saw in the resignation document that he leaked to TMZ, I think it was. But there wasn't the little writing on the very top. The very top of the first page is little tiny writing, says filed on date time. And that's, we know, comes from the court. And if it doesn't have the little writing on the top, we know it's not been filed. And the only place it would come from that it's not been filed would be from Jamie's own attorney. So this isn't a big mystery. So that the conditions may have been placed on it. Other outlets, I think CNN has reported that it's also laid eyes on it, on the document. But again, may have been conditions attached to say, hey, you can see this, but you can't share it. Or you can see maybe pages of it and not do the rest. I would hope that the outlet would say, we want to see all pages or we're not going to report on it at all. But again, look at this attention that these outlets are getting from this story. They may be willing to bargain a bit to get the scoop.
It's so shady, guys, and I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that as you're hearing these stories. The more you realize, like, they don't care. They want the headline that Jamie feeds them, and it all goes into this master plan of his, which is really sad. All right, so again, I if you didn't see my quick update, a lot of you were reaching out to me. Andy, what's going on? And I talked to Christopher through text because he was busy with some interviews, and I give you sort of an update on things. But just a quick recap of some of the comments and quotes that were in here. There really were like 2 quotes, Christopher, is the best I can find that have been released to the press. Did you find another one? Do you agree these two?
Yeah.
It seems like these two. CNN says, Miss Spear, Britney has told this court she wants to control her life back. Here, the first one is, recent events related to this conservatorship have called into question whether circumstances have changed to such an extent that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship may no longer exist. this is really strong and important language for her in the future. Ms. Spears has told this court that she wants control of her life back without the safety rails of a conservatorship. She wants to be able to make decisions regarding of her own medical care, deciding when, where, and how often to get the therapy. She wants to control the money she has made from her career and spend it without supervision or oversight. She wants to be able to get married and have a baby if she chooses. In short, she wants to live her life as she chooses without the constraints of a conservatorship or a court proceeding. As for Mr. Spears, he has said again and again, all he wants is what's best for his daughter. If Miss Spears, Britney, wants to terminate the conservatorship and believes that she can handle her own life, Jamie believed that she should get the chance. Now, these are the new quotes we've gotten. There is a statement from Rosengart, which I will get to in a second. Before we even get there, though, Christopher, I want your reaction to these words we are hearing. I mean, this is such an about-face from Jamie Spears. And I can't help but speculate that he's doing this for a reason to almost stop the conservatorship. It seems like to stop, to potentially hide what he was doing. Is that a potential here where he wants to end this early to sort of stop the investigation into it? What is your take on all this?
Well, he can't end the conservatorship. It was the court who placed it on Britney at Jamie's request, and it's only the court that can lift it. So Jamie has no special powers just to say, you are free. He can't do that. Only the court can end it. So whatever he has in the rest of this document in no way can just automatically end the conservatorship. Now, he's saying that the about face came because some recent events have made him realize that his daughter is no longer in need of a conservatorship. That's a complete lie. What recent event occurred? Nothing. What is different now than it was a month ago, or 6 months ago, or 6 years ago? Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is that there is so much overwhelming public support and scrutiny on this case that he cannot hide anymore. He knows he's going to be tossed out. He knows he's going to be sued, and he's trying to rehabilitate his image. He's probably thinking he's going to face a jury trial for all of his conduct, and he's trying to condition the public, potential jurors, into thinking, oh, I stepped aside. I only want the best for my daughter. And again, the fact that he's telling this to the press it's a public relations stunt. That's all this is.
Yeah, it's crazy, and so you do agree that there is potential here that he's trying to hide something, but you're saying why would I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I see other people sort of making that assumption too, but he can't even hide it. So what do you think his best interest is here? Like why, and just ironically enough, his lawyer, Ms. Vivian Thornan, just a little funny tidbit today, was declared the best lawyer of the year in America, and then promptly was quickly deleted after everyone was like, excuse me? So anyway, she's not no longer the best lawyer, but why would his team do this? Like, do you think they are reading the writing on the wall? Like, Jamie, we keep doing what you're telling us, but this isn't going to play well for you. Like, as a lawyer, what do you think their play is here?
Yeah, I think it's messaging to the judge, because, the judge has also been attacked here, by the public in social media. So here Jamie's being attacked in social media, and then he's going to face this judge on September 29th. And maybe he's trying to position himself to say, hey, Judge, I'm just like you. We're both being attacked. We both want what's best for Britney. Look at me. I have stepped aside. I've never wanted to fight this thing. So let's end this. We all agree this is best for Britney. And oh, by the way, while you're at it, I just need you to approve all these attorney's fees and, just release the bond and the liability. And so maybe that's his play, is he's hoping that he's going to curry favor with the judge. He's going to position himself in a good light rolling into this hearing, rather than defiantly going in and saying, no, I'm not going to step down. No, this conservatorship needs to be remaining in place. So that would be one tactical reason. But again, this is all positioning. There's nothing to do with his liability. There's nothing that he can say or do at this point that would relieve him of the legal liability that he has for what he did to his daughter.
Well, that's encouraging to hear. So as we go through this, I'm just got breaking news that Rosengart has released a new statement. As you were saying that, I want to make sure I got here. So there were two statements he made. The first was in here, right? Let's read his first one first, just so we have it all together. You texted it to me. I don't see it here.
It's in the NBC.
Oh, it's NBC. Okay, got it. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Thank you. It appears that this is now Rosengart sent this statement on Tuesday. It appears that Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting for a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath. But as we assess his filing, which was inappropriately sent to the media before it was served on counsel, which Christopher called, our investigation will continue. Furthermore, he says, this filing represents a massive legal victory for Britney Spears as well as vindication, having exposed his misconduct and improper plan to hold his daughter hostage by trying to extract a multi-million-dollar settlement. Mr. Spears has now effectively surrendered. There is no settlement. To the extent Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including, so there was more to that, I guess, first part we read. He's incorrect, and our investigation of financial mismanagement and other issues will continue. So Christopher, I mean, this is a pretty damning response from Rosengart. And again, it does go to what we've sort of been playing all along, which was he just wanted Jamie to keep talking. And at this point, it seems like Jamie now has talked so much. He's like, yeah, all right, fine. The conservatorship's not that important. Like, why did they reveal that card and say that out loud? I guess is what's still so surprising to me.
Well, there's got to be a lot of talking between the lawyers outside of court, outside of these legal documents. There would definitely be Jamie's lawyer talking to Britney's lawyer. And so, number one, we know that Rosengart has been demanding that Jamie sit for a deposition, which is a compelled statement under oath. It's come into my office with a court reporter and I'm going to interrogate you. And so we know that that's happened because Rosengart's saying it right here, and he's mentioned it before. So he's been trying to get Jamie to come in for an interrogation about all this stuff, and apparently Jamie's been ducking it. Secondly, he's talking about a proposed settlement of terms of surrender, and we saw that in the resignation document where Jamie's saying, yeah, I'll leave if all this money is paid. And I would imagine what Rosengart's saying is that settlement offers or attempts were made by Jamie to say, hey, I'll step aside, I'll even agree or support your request to end this thing as long as I'm paid all this money. And Rosengart's saying, no, that's not going to happen. So that's what I think has been happening behind the scenes. And then also Rosengart confirming that this document was leaked, that Rosengart would have heard about it from the press before it was served or officially given to Rosengart by Jamie's attorney.
Yeah, a lot here to digest. When do you think this filing will happen? We're not getting it tonight, obviously, because the court's closed and the media is not sharing it, which only seems to reaffirm what you're saying is there must have been some sort of agreement where they weren't allowed to. When would a filing then take place on the docket or whatever?
So we'll see it tomorrow. There is a natural delay in the time that these documents are uploaded. They're electronically filed with the court until we actually see them on the docket. Like my office today filed a further request on behalf of USA Today for the media access for the September 29th hearing. So we filed that around 4 p.m. with the court, and that's not showing up on the docket. That'll show up tomorrow along with this one that Jamie just filed, and then we'll get it.
Do you think
at that point?
Could he just not have filed? I mean, it'd be pretty crazy of him not to have filed it today. Like you do think it was filed with the court, not just with the media?
Yeah, I would imagine that it was filed. I mean, like anything's possible, but I would imagine that it was filed, and it just hasn't. The court system it just takes time for them to process it and get it on the register or the docket so we can all see it and download it. that's just a thing that's
getting,
not particular to this case.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting other messages. Yeah, it should be on the doc tomorrow morning around noon. My time is when sometimes that stuff appears in the docket. Whatever it is, I hope to have Christopher back, and whenever we can, we will break down the document for you guys because I'm sure there will be some juicy details there that we must go through to really get to the bottom of this case. So, Christopher, as we sort of, there's not much more to report on. Sadly, I wish there was. Just real quick, thanks to Turtle Man. I saw your super chat there. Matt Bond earlier as well. Don't count your chickens till they hatch. And Allison Hoffman, I appreciate all your super stickers. Rosie, Allison Hoffman again. I hope she gets her kids back. We're all hoping that. Allison, thank you for your support. As we wrap things up, if you guys have any other final questions or things you want to send over, we're going to be doing a long stream here and lots of other topics, but I don't want to keep Christopher too long. But if you guys have questions or thoughts, send them on over so we can address them. But Christopher, again, I'm still sort of stuck in the why. It's like it's so strange to me, the choices he keeps making. And he like the last one I remember is him sort of acknowledging that, yeah, I paid Lynn and her housekeepers and her rent under Britney's cash. Like, it's so bizarre to me that it doesn't. He's such an idiot. That's why we are so sure on this and why we are reporting on this stuff. But like, I still am stuck on these lawyers. Like, as a lawyer, wouldn't this be such a miserable case to take to represent Jamie, knowing just like what they have to do to sort of do you think they're listening to him saying, I want this out there, tell him that I'm a good dad? Like, again, where do you think that's coming from?
Well, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the tactics that they've used. And we've seen this over time here that they have filed things and said things in court papers that are inconsistent even within the own document or other statements that they've made. So I think the legal tactics and reasoning are not good on his side. So this is just another manifestation of really some bad lawyering. And they have a bad client on top of it. Usually you would keep things quiet. I mean, there's no reason for him to say anything. Right. His response to the request to remove him isn't due till September 16th. And so if I'm on his side, if I'm representing him, I'm going to close up like a turtle. I'm not saying anything until I absolutely have to, and then I'm only going to say what I absolutely have to say. And that's what you do when you're in a defensive posture. You don't just go out and just blast stuff out there unnecessarily. So again, this was not a legal thing. This was a publicity thing. That's all we're seeing. And he's just digging his grave deeper for him every time he opens his mouth, which is great. And this is not going to just free Britney today or tomorrow. It's going to have to go to a hearing on September 29th. He can't just magically file something and the court says, oh, let me look at my docket, and then let's just terminate this thing. It's absolutely going to a hearing on September 29th.
Well, that was my next question, because we were planning and still plan to report on that day. Christopher will be there live on the court steps, so I see a lot of people watching tonight. If you're going to be out there, make sure to join us on that reporting day. It has to still happen, right? Because no matter what Jamie files, it's not up to him, as you've said. Even if they sort of are coming to agreements or figuring out what they want to do, those negotiations will take place on September 29th, correct?
Yeah, there's no way anything's happening before September 29th, and even on September 29th, all the details aren't going to be resolved. There may be some parts of it resolved, or maybe there's temporary suspension of all of these powers over Britney, and so she basically walks out the door free, but all of the financial details would then be subject to further hearings about the payment of fees for Jamie and his attorney. Those can wait, but Britney can't wait to have her rights restored. So I'm hoping that's what would happen on September 29th, but it absolutely is going to a hearing, and we are absolutely going to be there and live streaming on it. I am hoping that the media request that I made on behalf of USA Today will be granted by this LA Superior Court, or I will go to the Court of Appeal and ask them to order it so that all of you can listen wherever you are in the world to that hearing for yourselves and not rely on anybody else's secondhand reporting of what's going on in that courtroom.
Yeah, for those that don't know, he's manning a big case, and there's others now that are filing as well. I think Netflix is doing so. There's a few now I've read, which is great, and I applaud you for doing this effort. So we get ears actually in that courtroom because too much shady stuff's been going on, and Jamie clearly also with his press tactics. And the press accepting his agreements to not actually even tell us the full story just shows how scary and shady all of this has been. And imagine someone who's not Britney Spears who's stuck in one of these conservatorships, which sadly I'm sure there are some good ones that are good, meant well for people who need it, but there's clearly a lot of other ones who are taken advantage of, and this is hopefully going to open up the a can of worms that we all can really to learn more about. So as we wrap things up here with this statement, this court date on September 29th. Now that Jamie has said this, now that Jamie has basically put out there that she doesn't need the conservatorship, I mean, that's a pretty big witness to come forward and say such a thing, right? As Rosengart's even saying here, this is vindication. Not only has it been, he's been holding her hostage, etc., but now the one who filed for it in the first place, him, is now saying she doesn't need it. I mean, that's a massive win that we should be celebrating, the fact that he finally acknowledged that, whatever stipulations even are beyond it, doesn't matter. He's admitted it, right? So that's a huge victory for her. Can that be used on the 29th to really potentially free her on that date?
Well, yeah, because Rosengart's, what I've been calling his two-step strategy, was first to get Jamie removed, and then to go file for termination of the conservatorship once Jamie's out of the way, so Jamie and his lawyer can't be objecting to things anymore. That was the strategy that Rosengart laid out. Well, now Jamie himself is coming in there saying, like, hey, we'll just terminate it right now, and apparently, we haven't seen the document yet, but apparently has filed a request to terminate. So this is even better. This is a great, great development if that's true, because now it's at play on September 29th, potentially to have this thing terminated rather than going through a more lengthy process. So I like that if that's what he's done. I like it if the court's willing to act on it on September 29th. I like it if the court was actually going to free Britney while preserving her rights to sue her dad and everyone else that did this to us. But notice there's a lot of ifs in there. Right. And we have not seen the court take control of things well. We have not seen the court take Britney seriously, and we have certainly not seen the court respect her rights. So all of a sudden, magically, is this going to change on September 29th? I hope and pray that that's what's going on.
But the reality is, it's probably not, guys. I mean, I want it to as well. But seeing how everything's unfolding, and Judge Penny, I will be pleasantly surprised and happy, no doubt. But I can't imagine, after everything we've been through, that the court that has avoided, right, every step of the way, they've sort of denied, suddenly is going to say, yeah, cool, all right, I guess we don't need this. For a long period of time, they've made excuses as to why this couldn't. The documents, the things the publics don't know. And now Jamie, the fact that he's saying, yeah, I guess she doesn't need it. She's saying she doesn't want it, is so telling to the shadiness behind all of this that I got to be honest, I'm still in disbelief he and his attorneys allowed this to be filed, because even as you said, why say anything? Just say the bare bones, get to the case, say it then, delay, whatever. To me, it stinks of something's up that we don't even understand, or that he's worried about to try to hide or do whatever. And I hope and I'm grateful actually that Rosengart seems to really be on top of a plan here to not just end this conservatorship, but as he says in his own words here, demand accountability. Because he's not. It makes me very happy to know. Look. I try to be very fair, Christopher, and give everyone a benefit of the doubt. I can't do that with Jamie Spears, given everything I've seen. I mean, this man has abused his own grandkids. Like, there's too much about this man and the lies he's put out there, the PR plans and everything he's done. I don't believe the guy and everything we've said. That said, he has a right to prove himself, right? He does. And I think it's very important that we have that accountability search in the court of law so we can really figure out what happened. That way, there's no questions left unanswered, right? Do you think, None of that's going to happen, though, on the 29th. What's the timeline, I guess, for us to sort of expect, regardless of what happens there? Is there going to be another filing at that point against him? When can Britney say, you know what, we're filing for abuse against Jamie?
Well, yeah. So what could happen is on September 29th, the court says, hey, everyone seems in agreement that this conservatorship is no longer needed. Britney wants it done. Her dad's in support of it. Jody Montgomery's in support of it. This medical team is in support of it. And therefore, I am at least temporarily removing all of these powers over her. That could happen. But you raise a good point that if the court obviously thought that this was so needed for 13 years, and if it just says on a whim, like, oh, okay, well, letting it go, that does indicate, like, well, why did you do it in the first place if you could so easily release it? But I'm hoping that's what happens. And then there would be the issue of this money that Jamie says is due to him for compensation and to pay his lawyers. That can be determined by the probate court. And then the probate court could also determine Britney's claims against her father and others. Or this could also be brought in a civil action. And so that would be my preference. I mean, normally the probate court or the probate court does have jurisdiction over claims against the conservator, but I also believe that the civil court has concurrent jurisdiction over that, meaning that they could file a separate civil action, get it out of Judge Penny's court, demand a jury trial, and prosecute the hell out of this guy. And so I think that is coming. Rosengart has said that over and over again. That's coming. But the question is, first, we don't have to wait for all that. Let's get her freedoms back. And the right to sue is probably one of the first ones I'd want restored, because she needs to sue a lot of people.
Right, and there could, again, we don't know what this document says, but there could be conditions here where Jamie's trying to end the conservatorship and potentially to save his ass, and maybe have conditions of, well, then we don't need to pursue further. Do you think that's an option he's going to even dare to attempt, knowing that Rosengart and Britney aren't going to allow it?
Well, yeah, I mean, he could have got away with that with Ingham. And, we saw that with Andrew Wallet. I mean, he got paid to leave and he got an exoneration. So there's that worked with Ingham. That's not going to work with Rosengart. There's no way he's making any deal with Jamie. He's made that as clear as a bell.
Right.
There's no surrender. It's an unconditional surrender, or he's going to take him to court and have him removed against his will. So that's happening. The wild card here is the probate court, Judge Penny. Is Judge Penny going to approve something over Britney's objection, over Rosengart's argument, to say, okay, I'm ordering all of these fees to be paid to Jamie's counsel. I'm ordering all this compensation. I'm exonerating the bond. Is Judge Penny going to do that? That would be fiercely opposed by Rosengart and probably appealed if that happened. So he's not going to lay down like Ingham did.
Yeah, it's so weird because he had the opportunity to just get out of there. To know the writing was on the wall, that Britney wanted out. And you'd imagine after the incident with the kids, he would have wanted to take that exit as quick as possible while he had Ingham there. It's so weird he didn't just take what he had, wrap it all up, and let her go free. And then she may have just not known better, right? She may not have connected to a better attorney and maybe signed stuff that she'd even realize. In a weird way, his own hubris, right, and just greed made him stick around too long, where now he's really having to face the devil.
That's a brilliant point. When Wallet got his sweetheart deal, the golden parachute, the exoneration with cash, Jamie could have said, hey, sign me up for one of those too. And he could have got that deal with court blessing.
Right.
And then, like I say, like you're mentioning here, Britney then trying to undo that. He's too greedy. And this is in his nature. This is what he was doing, why he's in this from the get-go. And so it was the allure of potentially keeping this going. It must have been too much for him. But yeah, it was a completely foolish move not to try to get the release of claims when Wallet was resigned also.
Man, you know what? Super weird and stupid of him, but you know what? Great for us because I want justice served. I want free Britney, and I want her dad. I want the accountability, and I want to make it crystal clear what actually happened all this time, because there's too many questions we have. We need to know the answers, and I'm grateful for Rosengart doing this, and I'm grateful for you, Christopher, being here. We got a couple questions we're going to go through really quick before we let you go. Make sure though, while we got a lot of you here, do me two things: smash that like button, please, right now, and then go subscribe to my man Christopher Melcher's YouTube channel. The mods hopefully are posting it in there. I'm going to do it again real quick. That's CCMESQ is where you can subscribe to him. We're so grateful to have him on this channel. I'm so happy to have partnered with him and do these reports with you. He's always welcome, and I look forward to doing more as we do it. There's the channel. Go show him some love. But Christopher is just offers such a good, calm, rational take on these things, and I'm so grateful to have him here. I know you guys are too, so thank you for the support for him, for me, for us. Real quick, Sky Forrest, thank you. Thanks for all you bring to us. Love Chris's channel too. We love you, Sky. Thank you so much for that. Brittany Shane, Chris, thank you for trying to stop the telephone game. We need firsthand, not other party insight and information. Facts. That's what we both try to do, but I really appreciate Christopher does. Guys, a lot of lawyers lie, aren't very trusting. I've been very impressed with not only just Christopher's candor and honesty, but his generosity. He's a very kind guy, guys, off camera as well, so go show him some love. We're very lucky to have him in the Free Britney movement. Allison Hoffman again. Christopher, you need to double your fee that you charge Andy. LOL, your insight is worth so much more. Thank you. Hey, don't let him go anywhere else. No, we want him everywhere. He can go everywhere he wants. I'm grateful to have him here. And then Danielle just sent one as well. Thank you, Danielle. Nelson, thanks for having Christopher on. Looking forward to your upcoming legal reading analysis and for keeping your coverage fact-based and not drama. It's true. It's a weird balance. I see the drama clicks get it. I'm not trying to do this for drama. I will always do some Jamie Lynn drama, Christopher. I can't resist it. I do not like that woman. She's also it seems like she's trying to like victimize herself with the hurricane right now, complaining that why aren't people report? Oh my God. I held back. I didn't do that video because I'm trying to like, Jamie Lynn, just shut up. Stop talking. But yeah, we got to report on the facts of this case, and it's an important one. So I'm grateful for Christopher doing that, and that's what I try to do here as well. Let's not get lost in the drama on this Britney case. Too many other channels and media outlets are TMZing this, and a lot of people are getting misled, thinking that the thing is over, and it's not. So grateful for Christopher, everybody in this movement who are taking it seriously, and to all you guys are walking. Some are saying the documents are up. Are they up? Christopher's going to double check. I'm sure we didn't plan for that. Another hour of us going through the documents right now. We may have to do that in the morning first thing because it's pretty late now, but at least we can prep and time it tomorrow to make sure we do that. But as Christopher checks, I have one more message. Dawn, thank you, Dawn. I enjoy your channel. Keep up the good work. Free Britney. Thank you, Dawn. Send it through PayPal. Always nice when you do it because what was I going to say? It doesn't get the YouTube fees. So thank you so much. We don't like giving Google too much. Did anything else new there, Christopher, or no?
No, I mean, I just checked the attorney portal. It's not there, and they do maintenance on the site. You know, sometimes early in the morning. So we'll see it tomorrow. If he filed it today, we're absolutely going to see it tomorrow on the portal. And we'll have it, and we'll share that document with everyone so you can read it.
Some people are saying the documents are pasted. Emily, yeah, can someone DM me just so I can have it? I assume these are going to take a little while to go through, but I want to just make sure you guys can all sort of, that way we at least can report and end this, and it's out there. They should be out here any moment. But I've also been told by others, aside from even from Christopher, that it probably is not going to happen until tomorrow's. So I'm checking one other source here to make sure it's not. I don't think it would be posted there, but hold on, I'm checking. But guys, yeah, I don't see it there either. People are telling me it is. Yeah, no, it's not the petition. No, tell me to check out Emily's stuff. She doesn't have. She just has some screenshots and stuff. She doesn't have the official docs because I guess she has a little bit more information than we do, but we don't have. I don't see the document link there yet. So we're still waiting. She may have gotten a couple extra pages, or somebody may have. I want to wait till I can see the full page to dissect with Christopher, which we hope to get tomorrow morning. But if somebody wants to DM me or Christopher the link, feel free. I'm checking my DMs while we're live to find out if there's something we're missing, but so far, nothing left. So it is also very late, and so I want to make sure we can properly digest all this. So I would plan to join us tomorrow morning again. I have more I want to report on with Britney. She's posted some Instagram stuff. She's back in yellow. We got lots more to talk about tonight, but regarding the documents themselves, I hope we should have them in full by tomorrow morning. So if you watch this, thank you guys so much. Join us again. We'll either be live or just post a recap as soon as Christopher and I can once we have the documents, and you'll be able to get more information there. Christopher, I see you looking up stuff. Anything you found or anything else to add before we wrap things up?
No. I mean, I was seeing. I don't see anybody posting it. So, hey, as soon as I get it, I'll definitely going to share that. I think everyone's entitled to it, because this is, again, we're kind of being played here by Jamie in terms of trying to manipulate what this story's about. So we need to have the real information to base an opinion on. So if I get the document, I will absolutely be sharing that with everybody.
I don't see anything else. I see a couple other little things, but they're, it's all the same quotes we have here. No, Emily D. Baker, who I'm a huge fan of, she has not posted. I just checked all of her stuff as well. She's posted some similar quotes as we have, but I think we're all still waiting for this document to post, since I'm guessing the media had some sort of agreement with Jamie to not release these, because traditionally they do, and they should. So pretty lame that they didn't. So Christopher, again, Christopher is going to duck out. Go subscribe to his channel. I want to get into the Instagram and I have another Britney story I want to share with you guys. May even take some calls. But before we let Christopher go, I want to plug one more time. Christopher Melcher on YouTube, CCMESQ on YouTube. Show him some love. Christopher, you'll be available tomorrow morning once these documents come back and we'll report on this.
Yep. Anytime, Andy.
Any final words, Christopher?
No, I mean it's a good development. It's positive, and we'll keep on it and share this document and roll through it once we see it for our own eyes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Christopher, thank you for being here. As Christopher ducks out, I'm also going to be clipping this for YouTube, so you guys get the most important part later. We are going to take some calls, lots more stories. So if you aren't already a member, please consider joining. Hit that join button. Helps to support this coverage in our media. Google does not always help us. By hitting join, you help to fund these creators directly. So hit that join. You'll be able to watch the full stream at any point after the replay is over. Thanks to all of you who are watching. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are not done. Lots more, including your calls, Britney's Instagram, and Monica Lewinsky praising Britney. I got to talk about this one too.